Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his Sunday guest, Mr. Todd Baldwin. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I want to talk about a quote from Elon Musk that I share the same sentiment. I've talked about it for a while. Many of my other experts talk about good times never last, bad times never last, right? Get used to the ebbs and flows. Elon Musk here recently basically came out and said recessions are a good thing. It helps blow out the people who really are poor capital allocators. Also, I don't know if you've heard from the All In podcast. They have now said that the last 2 years were fueled by cocaine and Red Bull, which really means we have some pain ahead, because I think Elon is right. We've got a bunch of zombies and SPACs and other meme stocks that just need to go to zero. So do you think recessions are a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's controversial, but yes. When a recession happens, my favorite store is having a sale, and that's the MLS and that's the S&P 500, right? That's my favorite store, and it's having a sale. It's like Black Friday for investors. I also think you're completely right. There are people on, anyone who could fog a mirror was making money the last 10 years, because we've had a crazy bull market in real estate and stocks, and you had people selling a $2,500 Bitcoin course because they just, but everyone was making money in Bitcoin. When the recession happens, and another quote, Warren Buffett, is when the tide comes out, you're going to figure out who's skinny dipping. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of people who don't actually know anything. They just happen to be lucky enough to be born in a time where they had this bull run, and a recession will prove it all.
Yeah. For me, again, having been through several of these now, right? I've got 20 years on you. Really, a lot of life is momentum, right? I invested, my first go around with building money was all momentum based. And you don't, when you're in it, you don't see it. You say stupid things like Warren Buffett doesn't get it. He's too old. He's an idiot. When you say stuff like that, David Portnoy, you need to realize that you're about to get smashed. Mm-hmm. And I said things like that, or at least thought things like that. I turned 7 into nearly 200 and then got washed away. And it happens again, right? There are people that got stimmy checks and paid to stay home and did all of these things. And they started well, I call it gambling. They call it investing. And they won. So they gambled more, invested more. They went on leverage, invested. You all are going to get smashed. If you haven't been margin called already, it's going to happen. And it's all about momentum. And you're right. And I feel bad for the real estate investors in the last 2 or 3 years. It was all momentum. You had great timing. And some of them are getting arrogant like the people in 06 did. The rules don't apply to me. You don't understand. I have the Midas touch. I'm better than everybody else. Blah, 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 blah. You're going to get smashed.
Absolutely. And I think people need to understand when it's time to cash out, if you've gotten insanely lucky, if it's not based on your own skill or know-how. And don't be too greedy. I know a guy who took a stimulus check, I think $1,200, $1,400, and he put it all in Dogecoin. And the crazy thing is, it went to $90,000. And he was like, well, I'll just wait for it to go to $1 million. And of course it crashed. He ended up going, all the way down, and he actually lost money.
Ah!
Right. He went back underneath $1,400. So it's like, he should, frankly, for me, and I'm a very conservative investor. If I put $1,400 in a gamble and it went to 10 grand, I cash out.
No, that's exactly right. I would have never held it to 90 grand.
No.
Right. No. I don't even know what that is. 90,000, 1,400. What kind of return is that? That's crazy.
It's insane. But the thing is, people who did hold it like that, there was an article, a CNBC article came out. This is another guy also who put his money in Dogecoin. He got his friends and family to put like a couple $100 grand in. He became a Dogecoin millionaire. It was all over the headlines. The headline last month was, "I'm no longer a Dogecoin millionaire."
Yeah, no kidding.
He lost it.
Yeah, I when I saw that article come out, I remember I did a YouTube video on this going, this is not going to end well. Mm-hmm. Momentum. It comes and goes. It ebbs and flows. And just like tulip mania from the 1600s or 14 or whatever it was, the consumer, the masses, if you can find out where they're going and get in early on Dogecoin and then get out before they all run over the cliff, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, most of you are at the back of the pack. You get in last, then you run over the cliff and you're Wile E. Coyote going, where the hell is the floor?
Mhm.
So
And well, and unfortunately, influencer marketing has been notorious for pump and dump schemes,
oh,
and
rug
it's really
pulls.
sad.
Oh, it's sad. Yeah.
It's really sad because you, as a viewer, you trust a person you follow or subscribe to, which is why you'll never see Michael Zuber
No,
promoting
hell
a
no.
pump and dump crypto scam.
Not
And
gonna
neither
happen.
will I. I wouldn't do that to people, and my reputation is more valuable than whatever sort of quick money I would make. But that's been happening. I mean, that happened with, I think it happened with even like Floyd Mayweather and like the Kardashians and famous people. I think
Yeah.
Jake Paul, like, right, there's a lot of people who are very famous, very well known, who are saying, hey, you should buy this. And the whole time they were like, I'm getting out in like 2 days because
Yeah.
all of these suckers are going to buy in, inflate the price, and I'm cashing out and I'm going to moonwalk out the door.
Yeah. Karma's a bitch. All is all I can say. It's
Hmm.
coming for you. But yeah, really what the point of this session to me is recessions are not only a good thing, they're part of the natural business cycle. What I
Mhm.
believe the Federal Reserve has tried to do for the last 14 years is avoid recessions. And the best analogy I have is a forest. You can only ignore clearing the underbrush so long, because if you don't do it, the smallest spark will start a raging inferno.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, what we are about to go through is the Fed broke everything. The last 2 years, we rained $8 or $9 trillion on people for doing nothing, stimmies and PPPs and unemployment, this and that. And we're going to have 2 years of pain. Inflation is just the start of the pain. We're going to have liquidity sucked out of the market. We're going to have something break because they're quantitative tightening versus quantitative easing. It is about to be a couple of interesting 2 years. And if you're not prepared, it's going to hurt. And if you're arrogant, you're going to get smashed. My opinion.
Absolutely. And I love your analogy of the underbrush and the forest. A lot of people don't know this, but uh, that is a practice that Native Americans did when they, just lived with the land, is they would actually purposefully burn a section of the forest, not because they wanted to, but because over the thousands and thousands of years they lived on this land, they understood that wildfires happen when the forest gets too overgrown. And so they would purposefully take a small section to get rid of that so it didn't get overgrown, and they would maintain it. And now that that no longer happens, of course, especially in California, there are wildfires everywhere because you're not taking the small thing you need to do and doing away with it because nobody wants to. It's ugly. It makes you feel bad, but it is necessary in order to sustain everything for the natural order.
There you go. Folks, again, good times never last, bad times never last. This is a time where stuff is going to go on sale. It just is. I suggest you get prepared. I suggest you do the work, whether you're shopping in real estate or the S&P 500. This is a time to build wealth. I will be buying assets on sale. I suggest you do the same. Todd, where can people find you?
Yes. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I can be found at Todd J. Baldwin.
Awesome, buddy. Thanks again.